Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I talk about the NWSL, women's soccer, just soccer, only soccer. I actually learned about this yesterday and have been keeping an eye on this story very closely because this is kind of concerning. I'll put the article links in the description below if you want to look at them later. I also want to add that this is still a developing story and this was all the information I was able to gather for now. I may be missing a few things, but I mainly just want to focus on the most important details. So yesterday, March 10th, the UK government imposed sanctions on Russian businessmen and women. Of those listed included Roman Abramovich, the owner of Chelsea. Abramovich and the whole club, both the men's and women's team, were hit with sanctions. According to ESPN, this means Chelsea cannot sell any home match tickets, although season tickets and other tickets bought before March 10th will be valid. This means there will be no away fans at Chelsea matches for any games that have not yet gone on sale. The club can pay the wages of all players and staff. Travel costs for away games limited to a maximum of £20,000. Cost of home games for security, catering, and stewarding capped at £500,000 per game. Payments to and from other clubs for transfers and loans agreed before March 10th can still be made. Broadcasters can show Chelsea games and pay revenues, but these funds must be frozen. Third parties who have club merchandise can sell existing stock, but the proceeds cannot be paid to the club. Chelsea is also banned from signing new players and contracts, and Abramovich would need approval from the UK government if he wants to sell the club. The women's team have 5 contracts set to expire at the end of the season. The men's team have 3 contracts that are going to expire at the end of the summer as well. From the sound of things, the government is open to considering a new license and permit if Abramovich was to sell the club, but at the same time they want to make sure he isn't going to benefit from it in any way. On March 10, Chelsea had talks with the government about softening the restrictions, but the club's fate is still up in the air. Both the men's and women's team had games yesterday. The men's team played Norwich City and won 3-1, and the women's team took on West Ham United's women's team and won 4-1. Before the games, Chelsea's main sponsor, 3, pulled their sponsorship from the club and had even demanded that their logo be pulled from the Chelsea jersey or shirt as soon as possible. Because Chelsea was blindsided by the sanctions, they could not find shirts without the logo and played their matches with shirts that had 3 on it. According to Chelsea fans, the shirt looks better without the 3 logo. I actually have the Chelsea home shirt for this year and I really liked it. I did a video reviewing it too, and Chelsea fans were kind of right about it looking better without the 3 sponsorship on the front. I think it looks more visually appealing. Anyway, things get more interesting. According to Footy Headlines, following the sanctions, Chelsea closed their actual store and took their online store offline. There was a sign outside the store that read, "Due to the latest government announcement, this store will be closed for today until further notice. Kind regards, store management." If you were to go to the Chelsea Mega Store online, you will get a white page with text that reads, "Due to the latest government announcement, the Chelsea Mega Store official online store shall be offline until further notice." Footy Headlines was throwing around and hinting at the idea that Nike could follow 3 and suspend their deal with Chelsea. That is a possibility, but Nike and Chelsea haven't released a statement about them parting ways just yet. I think the Chelsea store closing for now is because of sanctions. If we go back to the sanctions regarding ticket sales, Chelsea cannot sell any home match tickets, although season tickets and other tickets bought before March 10th will be valid. This could also apply to merchandise as well. The club can't or isn't allowed to sell tickets, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were barred from selling merchandise. As for Nike, you can still buy Chelsea products from them. I checked both the Nike US and GB store, and they still have Chelsea merchandise, shirts, jerseys, other stuff as well. Going back to the sanctions, third-party sellers, which probably include local soccer shops, football shops, and Nike as well, are still allowed to sell Chelsea merchandise, but proceeds cannot be paid to the club. Going back to the possibility of Nike and Chelsea parting ways, it's again still a possibility, but it hasn't been confirmed. When it comes to Chelsea FC as a whole, when it comes to both the men's and women's teams, the fate of the club is still up in the air, and the only thing we can do now, unfortunately, is wait to see what happens next. Anyway, that is all I have for you guys today or tonight, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.